All right, what's going on, folks? Your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you today from Robinson County, North Carolina, where the temperature's finally starting to cool off and we're getting some fall-esque weather. All right, I told you we're going to get back on to talking about the 45 points of communism that they want to use to take over America. All right, or more specifically, the United States and the abolition of our Constitution. I say abolition, aka they want to destroy our Constitution completely and impose totalitarian dictatorial elitism in lieu of our Constitution. What I mean by all that? Meaning handful of select individuals would have all the power, all the wealth, while everybody else would be in a caste system. Okay? The majority of which would live day to day with barely enough food, fuel to get by, while all supporting the state. So we're going to start with point 17, and we're going to go through, we're going to go all the way to 22. Point 17, and if you don't believe this has happened, it's all over the news. Get control of the schools, use them as a transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. That teacher, I think, was out in California that they finally fired. Geip, I think was his last name, who was an admitted socialist communist, had Antifa flag in his classroom, had a picture of Mao Tse-tung in his classroom, giving his students extra credit if they went and interrupted certain events that supported the Constitution or were patriotic, etc., so forth. Soften the curriculum. Oh, God, they're doing that. And get control of teachers' associations, i.e. teachers' unions, and put the party line in textbooks. They're already doing that. They've been doing it for probably the last 30 years as far as changing the curriculum, imposing studies on students that really are lies, okay? Also giving students credit for studies that really have no impact on American culture other than to disrupt it and destroy it. I mean, look at all the people protesting school boards right now, like the protesting the critical race theory teaching. All right, even to the point now, you've got certain school boards that are allowing pedophile material to be taught in the classroom and calling it normal and acceptable. 18. Gain control of all student newspapers. They're doing that across the majority of the college campuses across the nation today as we speak. 19. Use student riots to foment public protest against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. All right? Antifa, BLM in a nutshell. The majority of them are young Americans. I would speculate that the majority are in some type of program of instruction at a higher learning event, higher institute of learning. Be it a higher institute of learning in name only, because they're teaching communist propaganda. But again, they're using the campus to recruit to fill their ranks for their foot soldiers. Okay? You get them disgruntled little, how do I say this politely? No, I'm not going to say it politely. These pansy-ass little sons of bitches, pardon the language warning, who are sitting at mommy and daddy's home, whining and crying about how the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. The whole time, they're not even out actively looking for work because they'd rather stay at home and play Xbox and PlayStation or get on Fartbook or Stinkagram or TikToky or whatever, even on this platform, PukeTube, and declare how evil the world is and how evil capitalism is and how evil white rich Americans are, and the fact that they don't do anything but get richer and keep people poor, to include the poor white working class and the poor black working class, socially trying to divide America along race and economic lines, etc. and so forth. Okay, but they start on these campuses recruiting, and then they get them into rioting, into protesting, not only on the campus but mainstream out into the streets of major cities and towns across the nation. Infiltrate the press. Number 20, infiltrate the press and get control of book review assignments, editorial writing, and policy-making decisions. They're already doing it. And any conservative platform gets shut down, lied on, run off. 21, gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. If you look at Communist Wood and you look at the majority of Hollywood's elite, 99% of them are craptastically puking communist sons of bitches. That's what they are. And personally, my opinion is they all need to be locked up and tried for treason and sedition against the United States. All right. Radio. What is the name of the company that is buying up radio stations all across the U.S.? God. But they lean extremely left. If y'all know the name of the group, put it down in the comments below. It escapes me right now. 21. We already covered 29. I'm sorry. 22. Continue to discredit American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to eliminate all good sculpture from parks, buildings, substitute it with shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms. How long has that been going on? And then, the sad part is I see it on federal property too. And the amount of money federal government pays on so-called artwork for offices and buildings. There was one in Fort Bragg, they bought something, and to me, it looked like a cat turd. And I forget how much was paid for it. And then when I had to take my GPC training, which is government purchase card training, certain things you can't do with that thing. But some of the videos showed these buildings where they're, in their little stupid video scripts, and they had some ungodliest art form. And then, to the credit of a whistleblower, there's one guy that actually turned in his boss for buying some stuff. And when they looked at it, I asked how much he paid for it, and the guy, they said they signed a contract for $35,000 for a sculpture, maybe twice the size of this flashlight, to be the centerpiece as you go in the door. Somebody's getting a kickback. Wasn't me. Okay. And you think about it, they're tearing down statues and everything else. We'll go down to Alabama where the one judge finally just had to quit because he kept putting it up and the federal government kept taking it down. It was the Ten Commandments. Now, whether you're a Christian or not, the Ten Commandments is still a great set of rules to abide by and live by. If everybody would take a chance and just read those from 1 to 10 and live by them, we'd be in a whole lot better position than what we are. But I'll digress. I'm going to go ahead and cover 23. Control art critics and directors of art museums. And quote, our plan is to promote ugliness, repulsive, meaning art, end quote. 24. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press. Think about that. Men can go around town with their pants hanging down half past the crack of their rear end. Okay? Women can be spilling out of their outfits to where there's nothing left of the imagination. You go to the classrooms now and you get kids dropping 4-letter F-bombs and the teachers drop them right back and nothing happens. It desensitizes the kids. Now, granted, I use some language today and maybe I'm a hypocrite, but, I try not to use it in front of my children or my children's children. But if what I use on here is the worst of it, I'm far better off than some of the stuff that like these Antifa pukes and BML pukes and these communists use every day. And sadly, people on the right use it to the whole F Biden thing at the football games right now. And honestly, I think it started off as a genuine protest, but now it's just the catchphrase of the day. And enough on that tangent. But again, doing these things in claiming violation of free speech and free press. But the thing is, they will turn around and deny conservatives on the right the same leniency. Okay? If anything, they'll turn around and they'll push it and promote it as bigotry, racism, all kinds of breakdowns of morals and values, all because of one or two words. 25, break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. Just talked about that a few minutes ago, where in some of these schools are already doing that with pedophilia material. And one chairman of the school board, he got before the school board and the teachers union and told him that if they didn't remove all that, he was going to have them charged, because he talked to a judge about it, and the judge agreed with him. They could be charged. But that's not stopping them. The fear of going to jail is not stopping them from pushing their agenda. Remember, I told you a while back, the Man-Boy Love Association out of England, 30, 40 years ago, kicked up, talking about where if a minor and adult were in a consensual relationship, it should be all right. Now, I'm going to say this. What people do as adults is their own business. Now, I don't condone it, but I'm not going to condemn somebody for their choices they make. All I can do is pray for them that they'll accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior and see what's written in His Word and abide by it. But if they don't, they'll answer to God on Judgment Day, just as I am too for my sins. All right? My point being is, though, when it's being trying to force to where adults can prey on minors, that's the whole thing about the Man-Boy Love Association. Okay? And the worst part about it is our government won't even call out this in the Islamic culture that happens every day. When I was stationed in Iraq, when I was in Iraq on my last tour, every Thursday is what they call Man Love Thursday, because in their eyes, women were for reproduction and other men were for pleasure. That was their unwritten moral belief. But then also, I'll follow it up to say this: many marriages in Islamic culture between the man and the woman were arranged where the men were in their 30s and the little girls, were anywhere from 9 to 12 years old. And there was rumors that there was sexual activity that took place the night of the marriage. If that doesn't make you sick, then you got issues. But our own government fails to call that out. But yet they'll turn around and call out other things here in this nation, and it is abhorrent. So, anyway, that's where we're at today. Taking enough of your time. So, take that for what it's worth. Get the book, read it. Go from there. Make your own determinations, but these things are happening or already have happened here in the U.S. And it's really taking speed now with the complete breakdown of our moral fiber in our nation. Okay? So, anyway. Anyway, that's for you, Brother Kyle. Until tomorrow, my friends, God bless, take care, stay safe, stay armed, stay vigilant, keep your eyes open, ears to the ground. And we will talk to y'all tomorrow. Soul Soldier out.